Yeah, that's this one. How big of a Nirvana fan would you say you were, Joey? Did you like Nirvana at all, or was it not really your thing? Like, you're kind of.
If by fan you mean someone who enjoyed every Nirvana song I've heard, yeah. If fan means fanatic, no.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess I just mean like if you do you listen to their albums outside of like what's on the radio? To me is like
not really. I mean, I know the hits. I know some of I've listened to Nevermind, and I mean I've listened to the albums. I just don't revisit it a lot.
I happened to catch this concert they did.
It's weird. You know what I think about Nirvana? I think they're a great band, but I think because they got so big, like it's the same reason why Kurt Cobain didn't like Nirvana.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're great music, but I don't like all the hype around them.
Yeah. So this one of the reasons I wanted to show you guys this, I ended up coming across this video, this live concert they did, kind of like, I want to say it was at their peak. Like they play, like, I think it was before they released In Utero. It was 91. I think it's 91. So, but I wanted to show you some of it because when I watched this, it reminded me why I love Nirvana and like why I think that they changed the fucking game, because this performance is so fucking great. Like it's like, and it's not like anything special either, but it's just like, they're fucking great. And like Dave Grohl is doing backup vocals. Another thing I thought was interesting about this, which we don't, I mean, we can, I just want to watch like a couple little pieces of it, but Kurt never talks through the mic at no point. Like it's Dave Grohl and the bass player the whole time. Outside of like singing during the songs, Kurt doesn't say a fucking word into the microphone.
That's
during this performance. But let's watch just a little bit of it. And we can, October 31st, 1991. It made me just to kind of, explain myself a little bit. It made me remember what I loved about Nirvana, like just how raw and fucking killer they were, just live raw fucking band, So I think one of the other reasons I was kind of tripping on this is they play a bunch of songs from the Bleach album, and I had to like go back and listen to that album again after that because I forgot how it's still so good. Like the quality of the songs on Bleach are so good. It just doesn't have the production that Nevermind does.
Yeah.
It just sounds so big for three guys too. Like just Chris's bass and Kurt's guitar.
Bro playing with no shoes on?
What's that?
Is Bro playing with no shoes on?
The bass player? Oh yeah, he is barefoot. That's funny. I didn't even notice that. They were just so well rehearsed. Right? You know what I was thinking about too with the hi-hat? Probably one of the reasons he has it so high is so the snare mic doesn't pick it up.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. I'm just guessing. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I'd love to ask him. Anyway, this whole performance, I'll play one more little clip before we cut it off. But
I might want to check out this whole thing.
Yeah,
it's good. It's cool that they got it all in good color like that.
What'd you say, Joey?
I was just looking at the track listing, and their encore starts out with "Rape Me," which doesn't even come out until 2 years later.
Yeah.
So they had that song.
Yeah,
That's why wouldn't they put it on Nevermind?
I don't know. Maybe it just didn't fit. I was blown away too.
Interesting though, So number one, Nevermind just came out what did you say, a couple weeks before this? So the song was clearly written. They perform it as an encore, and then they don't release it until 2 years later on another album as a single.
Yeah, Nevermind came out September 24th of 1991, and this was filmed like October. Here, what did it say? October 31st, Halloween. of 91. So
That's wild.
yeah. Well, also, like they were one of those bands that they might have had it written, but the label was like, no fucking way. But then like once they blew up and they were huge, then they had a little more leverage. They're like, yo, we're releasing this song, motherfuckers.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
but encores, I mean, maybe it was different back in the day, but like you think a lot of bands save some of their best songs for the encore.
Well, they were not that well known yet. You know what I mean? This was a month after Nevermind was released.
Sure.
So that's the other thing that's interesting about it is like they were in their prime, but like not quite, like the shit hadn't hit the fan yet.
So maybe this is back when encores weren't planned. Like it was the crowd actually wanting to hear more music and they just came out and jammed some.
Yeah. They even did the hidden song. There's like a secret song on the Nirvana Nevermind album where I forget what it's called, and they do that. Like that's what this is.
Was it Endless Nameless?
I think so. Yeah, that's this one. That's the end of the encore, right? Yeah.
You know, as much as I enjoy watching well-produced bands play nowadays, I do sometimes kind of miss some of that old rock and roll attitude where they just go crazy.
Yeah.
You don't see that anymore.
No. People like wrecking their shit.
Or just acting like clowns, you know,
Right.
climbing up on scaffolding or whatever.
I just like listen to the like just the harmonies, the live harmonies they're doing in this. It's fucking killer. Anyway, I thought this was really killer, so I wanted to talk about Nirvana because it just reminded me why I loved Nirvana. You know, watching I was like, fuck, man, these guys were so great.
Nah. Nirvana's the shit. I don't understand the hate.
It was a sad day when we lost.
You know what, Dryden? I think it's because when you see like these mega movie stars or whatever wearing like a Nirvana shirt, and they have no, like, it's just like you don't.
That's
belong.
the issue.
Well,
now
maybe
it's like the
that's
same thing with
wrong of me,
Deftones and stuff too.
You also have they kind of like Nirvana was whether it was their fault or not, they kind of destroyed hair metal. And like I shouldn't say hair metal, but like glam metal was like the thing into like, you know, Poison and Motley Crue and stuff. And like once Nirvana hit, like, so a lot of those people hate Nirvana because Nirvana fucking ended their careers to some extent.
Yeah, but it again, I mean, I don't think they were setting out to do any of that.
No, they weren't. And the other thing is, those careers were going to be short-lived no matter what. If it wasn't Nirvana, it would have been something else that came along and changed the people. Like things change. Like people get tired of the same fucking trends and they move on. So, but that doesn't change the reality that a lot of people do hate. Like you listen to guys like Eddie Trunk and like a lot of those 80s cats, they do hate Nirvana. They will be like, fuck Nirvana.
Yeah.
Eric's not a fan of Nirvana for that reason.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like I know he doesn't hate them or anything, but like, he's not a big Nirvana guy because he was an 80s guy. He was into like all those bands. And then when Nirvana hit, it was like, oh, that's not cool. It was too, like, to be fair to like the 80s cats and like Eric and people like that were of that like kind of persuasion, it was kind of like snotty too. Like a lot of it, like they're like, that's stupid. Like that music's dumb. You know, it's like it kind of like got.
You know what? I'm going to throw myself under the bus here too. I wonder, because maybe I grew up in that early 2000s, like Christian metalcore kind of thing. When the screamo kind of started getting more popular, like the Under Oaths and stuff like that, I never went that direction at all. Because I'm like, you guys are ruining good music. So I think we all have our thing that kind of. They ruined what I loved.
Yeah, the screamo thing too to me was like bands like Glassjaw and like The Used and like so many of those bands were kind of doing it. Like Glassjaw was like a Ross Robinson band. They were like those first two Glassjaw records, like and honestly, I blame screamo on the Deftones completely. because like
You think so?
oh totally like
Tell me more.
That and Seosin.
well, Seosin was a product of that, but like all those bands, like as soon as the Deftones kind of blew up and they were doing that, like, because there's a lot of people that might debate me on this, and even Dino disagreed with me, but like Mike Patton, I think, like on Angel Dust and King for a Day, for example, is a great example of an album where he does like scream songs and like softer songs, and then after that, I feel like the Deftones were kind of influenced by Pat. I mean, I know Chino was influenced by Patton and a lot of other stuff, but once they started doing that and that's kind of started to take, then all these other bands started popping up that were doing these like melodic kind of like soaring choruses but still had like the hard edge and stuff, and Glassjaw was one of the first. But I don't claim to like be the end all know all. There's so many bands that come and go that you never even hear of, you know what I mean? So,
right.
There's other, like Refused had their album The Shape of Punk to Come was like, they were one of the first bands I heard integrating electronica into their into like rock music, you know what I mean? Back in the day. And they literally said this is the shape of punk to come. So there's like, they were a factor too. A lot of those bands, I think.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't like blame it on anyone specifically, but I do remember like when screamo started to become a thing, like the first couple bands that I knew of that were of that like genre were The Used and Glassjaw.
Okay.
And Glassjaw predates The Used too. Like The Used was kind of like, but The Used really took like, The Used had like the Deftones like scream like Rah! And then they also had like a pop punk kind of element.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's where I think it really like the screamo, like emo punk thing kind of came out. Cause bands like Blink 182 kind of had a little bit of an emo vibe and, She left me roses by the stairs.
Fuck that.